Hello and welcome to Top Story. It's been a bad week for efforts to solve the world's worst humanitarian crisis. On Monday, a convoy supplying international peacekeepers in Darfur came under attack, allegedly from Sudanese government troops. The incident has triggered strong condemnation from the UN Security Council and the United States. And a top United Nations official is warning that the joint UN-African Union force, which began its mission just 10 days ago, risks humiliation. On top of that, Sweden and Norway said yesterday they wouldn't send several hundred troops to Darfur after all. They're blaming Khartoum for throwing obstacles in their way. To discuss all these developments, I'm joined now by Louis Magloire Kemayou, who heads the Pan-African Press Association here in Paris. Mr. Kemayou, thanks very much for being on Top Story. I mean, this attack really showed how vulnerable the new peacekeeping force is.
Yes, because at the beginning they were telling us they don't need any extra African force to intervene in Sudan, in Darfur precisely. And now I think it's the consequence. We saw, first of all, I think in 2004, an attack against the AMIS, the African Union force, which was there in Darfur. And now we have a joint force with African and non-African forces intervening in the field, and it is the same situation. So I think it's really a big problem if Sudan cannot protect them and if they cannot do it for themselves.
And of course this force is only slightly bigger than the former African Union force that you mentioned, so it's almost the same presence, in fact.
No, it's not almost the same. They have more means than the African Union force, even if it is not sufficient to guarantee the security of the troops intervening there. They have more means than the African Union troops. So what we need now from Sudan is to help those forces to bring peace and security in the region.
Well, we'll talk about Sudan's role in all this a little bit later. First, I just want to stay on the force, and perhaps you could give us a picture of the logistical problems they actually face in Darfur.
Well, first of all, they need to have more engines to intervene in the region. I remember at the Lisbon summit where the European Union and Africa met concerning the relationships in the next 3 years. And the President Sarkozy was already saying they have enough problems to find the means, military means to get connected to the situation. They were looking for new helicopters, they were looking for troops and so on. They said it is about to be resolved, but we are not sure we'll have all of the supplies we are looking for. So it's also a problem because if there is no security in the field, if we cannot guarantee the country sending the troops and the means there, that we will be able to protect them, that we will be able to maintain the engines also in the field, that is a serious problem, and that is what they are facing.
Well,
now.
Do you believe that if the target of 26,000 troops is reached in the next few months, would that be enough for this force to be able to protect itself?
No, I don't think, because after all, what we are looking for is to protect those people who are intervening. If we cannot protect them, let us give the possibility to those to defend themselves from the attacks coming from anywhere. Maybe from Sudan, maybe from the rebels in the field. And another fact is that Libya is now leading the Security Council, and they have had a very important role in resolving the crisis in Darfur. So I hope they will be able to bring a good solution to this issue.
Well, security is obviously the crucial thing once the force is actually there, but a lot of people would argue the real problem is a lack of political will to send materials and personnel. That seems to be Ban Ki-moon's view, doesn't it?
The security problem will always be a recurrent problem because Sudan will never accept. What they've said at the beginning was what? We don't want our country to become a new Iraq in Africa. So we won't accept any foreign intervention. They mean by that any non-African intervention. So we are sending troops now. And Omar el-Bashir and the Sudanese government will do anything possible to show us they don't have any popularity in the population, and we are not able to protect them. We are not able to protect our citizens. How can we do to protect others who are coming from outside with the foreign forces? So that is the situation. It is not a good situation, and I think that is for the one who are paying the high price of this situation are the Sudanese in Darfur.
Oh, you mean the refugees and
the population there,
the population in Darfur,
who have to leave the country to go to Chad, Central African Republic, and so on, and that is creating a new humanitarian big problem in the borders of Sudan.
What can we expect then from President Bashir as this force is trying to step up its presence?
We can expect from him a better collaboration, first of all. If it is not with the foreign forces, maybe with the African Union, who are sending people there, who are trying to bring peace in the country. It is not against Sudan. It is not against the Sudanese government. It is for the population. It is for the security in the territory of Sudan.
What do you make of then this the Swedes and the Norwegians who said that they're not going to deploy because the Sudanese government is apparently making it impossible for them to do that? What's your feeling about that?
My feeling is the same, like for the forces who are intervening now. If they come in way to know if they can do it or no, they will never have an acceptation from Sudan because they are obviously against any foreign intervention. So I can understand them when you see people dying because they are trying to be good, to bring good to the population, goodness and so on. You cannot be. There is no motivation to intervene by yourself. Also, so I can understand that.
Well, so what leverage does the international community have on the Sudanese president? I mean, China is obviously a strong supporter in the UN Security Council.
There is no economic pressure that can be helpful there because if you say you won't have any relationship with Sudan, there will be inside the Security Council many other countries ready to cooperate with them, and so I think it will be very difficult for us to have a real pressure when they have such support in the Security Council.
Okay. All right. Well, we could go on with other aspects of this, but unfortunately we've run out of time now, Louis. So thank you very much for that analysis. And that was Louis Kemayou from the Pan-African Press Association in Paris, talking about the situation in Darfur. Do join us for another edition of Top Story at the same time tomorrow morning here on France 24.